What's up? When I saw this tweet at first, I genuinely have to say this. I thought it was a parody account that was tweeting this out. I thought this was a joke. And then when I looked at it and saw that it wasn't actually a parody account, I said to myself, this is going to make a good video. Because what's happening right now and what has happened over the last couple of years is the media has morphed into being indistinguishable from the government. Like, it's kind of like the movie The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Do you know in the extended version when the mouth of Sauron comes out of the Black Gate and starts chatting nonsense at Aragorn and Gandalf and the rest of the remaining fellowship and Legolas and Gimli and the Gondorians? When you see that part of it and you see the mouth of Sauron chatting absolute nonsense, that is a mouthpiece. And that to me is what the media in Ireland have become. They've become a mouthpiece for what's behind the Black Gate. That's it. That's a very succinct way of describing these people. And that's all you see now. Because what has happened here in Ireland is we've actually transferred an ideology that has happened in America here into Ireland quick sharp. Which is they were fawning over Joe Biden only a couple of years ago, asking him what sort of flavour ice cream he liked. And this is the same sort of stuff you're seeing here. It's the same sort of playbook. Now, why is the media indistinguishable from the government? Well, that's because the government, the uniparty that's there that has our country held hostage, have given this media nearly €1 billion. Now, why have they given them nearly €1 billion to write puff pieces and put out stupid tweets like this? They've done that because they're competing against the likes of me. They're competing against the likes of you that's sharing out videos, that's talking about these things with people that you know, that's sharing memes. Like, you have to understand that we have made an apparatus absolutely shake so much that they couldn't convince me to do things over the last couple of years. They haven't convinced you, and as such, we've actually shown people what's going on. That's why you have to give these people nearly €1 billion to keep them going, because these mainstream media outlets are demoralised. Imagine your job, and in all seriousness, right, if you had to become a journalist and you've studied to become a journalist and you've gone in and you've gotten press credentials or whatever it might be. I don't know that much about journalism, but I know a little bit. But imagine going through all of that and you're told, here, take a picture of this traitor eating a bit of cake and put that up on social media and think that you're going to get some sort of, positive feedback for that. That's insane. That's insane. But that's what a media member has just done. And they've been doing it over the last couple of weeks. I tell you what, guys, I actually think that the apparatus is scared. Because I have seen more puff pieces and ridiculous carry-on from Simon Harris, Micheál Martin, Roderick O'Gorman, Mary Lou MacDonald, Ivana Bakic, and the rest of them, the likes of the Gary Gannon, that's another creep, that thing. And the rest of them that are out there running around, puff pieces. Now, the mainstream media will promote videos that suit them, and what they're doing at the moment, from what I can see, is they're trying to shuffle Sinn Féin into the position of winning this election because they know that Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael aren't doing too well at the moment. And what they understand is the apparatus needs a bit of a change and a bit of a change of face. So that's what they're trying to do at the moment. But what's happening is pictures like the ones that came out there of the likes of Matt Carthy and Lynn Boylan, which I've shared out there, where they're saying refugee is welcome, is absolutely harpooning these people. It's torpedoing them to no end. And I've been blocked by numerous massive Sinn Féin accounts because of that. So anyone that's out there telling you Sinn Féin are an option and they are the logical choice to go with, that's a stupid person, to be honest with you. They ain't going to do anything different. But anyway, going back to this traitor anyway in the picture, because it'll give you a laugh even more so as we read through this. So you've got Alison O'Connor here. And Alison O'Connor is an alleged journalist. And to me, I think that the point of journalism is supposed to be, you're supposed to be unbiased, you know. But have a look at this, guys. Journalist, broadcaster and commentator, feminist. And I tell you, she's no looker like any other feminist, to be fair. So what you see here is comfort food, says Micheál Martin. He actually would say comfort food. Comfort food. You know, he's the most uninspiring person I've ever heard. Looks like Mr. Burns. Anyway, says Micheál Martin as he tucks in. Jim O'Callaghan tells him his healthy eating reputation will be gone down the drain. They did a video about, I think 3 or 4 days ago it was now at this stage, of Micheál Martin running 20 metres and he started pulling up and he was like, my hamstring. It was one of the most gay runs that I've ever seen. I'm not even joking with you when I say that. It was unbelievable. I thought this fella, now, I'm telling you, if he was running down Georgia Street and he was going into a certain pub, I wouldn't have been surprised, you know. But anyway, we keep going as we press on here. We see that Alison who boasts a followership of 18,000 with 19,000 views. How did she do in the likes? 54. 61 comments there. Now I wrote underneath that and I said how shameful it was. But Alison wrote underneath this tweet as well and said that Micheál Martin hasn't ate a biscuit in 30 years, but he is fond of a bit of cake. It's incredible, the sort of stuff that we're seeing here now. I've never seen anything like it in my life, this type of election nonsense that they're going with. I genuinely believe that the apparatus is scared. Now, I know that certain people will be out there and people comment below and say, no, they're not scared ninja, they're putting out this, they've all the money, and I get you, I hear you on that, 100%. But this to me is reading like a machine that is incredibly fearful of what could pan out in was it about 11 days time now that they're recording this video. So this has been recorded on the 18th, hopefully it'll be out tomorrow on the 19th. So in 10 days time, by the time this video releases, like this is a machine that I think is worried. They are doing their very hardest at the moment to make these people seem likeable and to seem actually human, which is another factor that I just want to bring up. These people have come across as disdainful, have come across as snooty, which is another word I want to use there, because that is something that we've seen how they've behaved towards gripped media. Now, I am not like the hugest fan of gripped media. I like Ben Scallon, I like what he does, I like how he asks questions, I like how he upsets these people. But ultimately, they have shown Ben Scallon disdain at every hand's turn, and he has asked, and I mean this, at times, milquetoast questions. And these people have been grossly offended about how these ask questions. You've seen videos now out there of Micheál Martin being approached on the street and being told what people, the locals, think of him and think of what's happening to the area, and he's looking at them, he's shaking his head. Sure, what would you know is the attitude he's telling people on the ground. They're telling them that their towns and that their areas is overrun with foreigners and crime, and he's just like, nah, sure, no, that's not happening at all. It's incredible. So what needs to be happening here now is a massive upset, but this to me is another nail in the coffin for the mainstream media. I think that they're done, and I do think that this nearly billion will keep them afloat, but they're demoralised like never before. And I think that if we keep going with the way we're going, and I'm at seeing it there now a moment ago, it's trending here on Twitter, just as an aside, John McGahon. So John McGahon, I think that's hilarious that it's trending with Twix. So Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael at the moment, you know that they're both in it together, they are, and they're really just the same. And Sinn Féin are the same, let me make no bones about that, and no mistake about that. They are exactly the same. They're all politicking, if you want to call it, at the moment. But the John McGahn situation is this. This is a guy that was up for alleged assault, and it doesn't look good. Now, these are people that are saying it's a scuffle. It looks a little bit more than that, but that's just my humble opinion. That's a genuinely held opinion. And there was also then, if you look at John McGahon and you type in the word Twix, you'll get a couple of interesting articles. So he was alleged to have interfered with someone with a Twix whilst the man was unconscious in a tent. Now, that's an allegation that's been made, that's out there. I think that that's very interesting that this guy has not once but twice had massive allegations surrounding him. But the party of law and order and Fine Gael are still running them. Very interesting, that one. And Fianna Fáil are just sort of like, yeah, it's not good. Now, these are the same people like Micheál Martin that was telling you that Ireland shouldn't have any backwards notion of sovereignty. These are people that are in this government that were calling you far right and calling you racist, and were trying to label you a terrorist for saying that Ireland is full, that Ireland belongs to the Irish, and now they're having to dial all of that back now in this election. This is what this attempt is. This attempt over the last week or two is to try and make you forget about scummy behaviour over the last, I would say 4 years anyway, for sure, but far longer than that, because these people are all in government a very long time and been holding positions for a very long time. So this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to hit you with recency bias and hope that you're going to not notice what they've been doing. Make them pay when it comes to the election. Make sure that this guy, for example, is out of a seat. I want to see all of these people go, and I think that at this moment in time, I think there's a real fear amongst them that people are going to turn on them, and that's and tweets like this would absolutely encourage you not to vote for these people. But I'm hoping now that we're not going to get the old parish politics out of what we have had in the past, which is, you know, sure, Micheál Martin's a grand lad, this fella is young fella, plays in goals for Cork. Like, stop the lights with that one, lads. Don't do that, please. Okay, you need to get this guy moving on his merry way and make sure he gets his P45 come this election, because this country needs to be run by Irish people that love this country, that want to see this country prosper, and that believe wholeheartedly that this country belongs to us and that it belongs to future generations of Irish people, not to the globe. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Good luck.